There is this rather shocking denouement of the epic. This is one of the few works of literature. I mean, Auden famously said that poetry makes nothing happen. Well, this unfortunately helped make a disaster happen for Portugal. So Camões has this address to his young king, the boy king, Dom Sebastião, who was like 18 years old at the time. And Camões, one of the reasons he's so sort of modulated or mixed about empire is that he really thinks that the imperial adventures far away have overstretched Portugal. You can't maintain this. It's causing death and destruction on both sides of the equation.
And it's a distraction, right?
It's a distraction from
the Arabic rivals that are basically at their door.
Exactly. Both Constantinople, but now Northern Africa, all Arabic, and that's really just across a very narrow strait.
Yeah. He has an imperial project or kind of geopolitical project, but it's a different one from the one that got him to Southeast Asia.
Well, in fact, what got him there was winning a duel in Portugal to someone more powerful than him, and the loser got him exiled.
Right.
So it's, again, power politics there. But very different from the project that takes Columbus and Cortez and their followers out to conquer and settle the so-called New World. And the epic ends in its last lines with a double appeal. So his one, pay me, reward me, and a running theme throughout the epic is, I read this great epic and no one cares. Even in the epic itself, this weird moment. And he addresses the young king, Sebastian, and says, you need help, you need good advisors. Who better than me? Who is this rough, unworthy voice? Rough and unworthy, quite nearly unknown, even undreamed of by you, yet from out of the mouth of babes, this is now quoting Jesus, praise may be at times be perfected. I am not without honest study, conjoined with long experience, almost identical to Machiavelli saying why the Medici should hire him as prince. Then the very 2 stanzas later, the last stanza, and the whole epic ends, whether to petrify Mount Atlas more profoundly than old Medusa, so again the classic, or to destroy by way of Cape Espartel the ramparts of Morocco, the contemporary political dimension. My triumphant, happy muse will extol your exploits, Sebastian, throughout the world. I'm going to write world literature about your next conquest. Alexander will share with you his bays, no longer coveting Achilles' praise. And the tragedy is that Sebastian listened to this. Not only presumably to this, he had counselors, but young Sebastian was a fanatic religiously. He was unstable psychologically. There had been a lot of inbreeding in the royal family.
You would have to be unstable to listen to literature.
At least to act on this appeal, let's say that. He only had 4 great-grandparents. You should have 8. He had 4. A little problematic there. And 6 years later, he actually starts a huge expedition precisely to conquer Morocco and North Africa, take it from the Moors, and he brings 17,000 troops, which is the entire resources of Portugal, almost the entire nobility of Portugal. They go to attack and win back North Africa. They're hideously defeated. Several thousand are slain. Thousands are made hostage, never to be found again. 100 men returned out of the 17,000. At that point, the entire nobility is destroyed. Spain takes over Portugal for decades to come. So this is really like lives ruined by a great work of literature.
Let it be a warning to all.
That's right. And I think with this at the same time, we can now recover in a geopolitical world where you have language of a class of civilizations, we have issues of both economic and religious conflict today. This is startlingly timely text. And I think if we attend to those more muted moments, those questioning moments, and things that make it a great work of literature, as opposed to a simple political tract, then we actually can help map our own modern world from this first very early attempt to map these very conflicts that we still find around us today.
And so it makes sense that it is for us today that this work suddenly becomes a really striking and relevant and important text of world literature, the way it maybe didn't 100 years ago, although it could have been, but it emerges now for us.
Yes, I think for a long time it was received as this Portuguese nationalist work.
Right. And who cares about that?
Outside of Portugal, and even in Portugal, difficult epic text, not everyone's read it. In Brazil, they didn't want to read it. They felt, they were the object of this rather than the subject of this, even though the Brazil is now, for a long time, the economic powerhouse, 20 times the population, and so on. So even in the Lusophone world, it was seen largely as Portuguese. But now we can really see it as one of the great works of modern literature, really the first work of a global perspective that gives us a sort of touchstone for us, not unlike Homer was for Camões.